Hey guys, before we get started, I want to say a very special thank you to Black Market, our broadcast sponsor today. Black Market is located in the Allentown neighborhood of Pittsburgh, just a short 10-minute drive from Schenley Park. This is a family-run deli, and it's so much more than that. They do catering, they have pastries, they have live music, board games, and other fun activities planned throughout the week. Black Market serves dinner between 3 and 8 p.m. Tuesday through Sunday, which is flavorfully cooked by the chef Dominic Betters. All that goes without saying, the one thing Black Market is known for: beef jerky. They have 14 mouth-watering flavors, and it is all made in-house by Dom and his family. Special recipes. My personal favorite is Red Tail and Buffalo Ranch. If you live in Pennsylvania, they can ship their jerky right to your doorstep. Just click on the link we have in the comments section below and order away. Once again, we want to thank Black Market for being our sponsor for today's broadcast. Hello everyone, and welcome to Disc Golf Examiner. Today we have a very special coverage for you from the 2018 Ironwood Open. This is a B tier at Slippery Rock University. Joining me today is Vince Mach. Vince, how are you doing?
Doing great, Brian. Really excited to be back on the commentary with you, and excited to see some coverage at Slippery Rock. I don't think I've seen coverage here since the Worlds that Pittsburgh hosted in 2015.
Yeah, the one tournament that we have here every single year is Ironwood, and it's usually the final course. It's very long.
I saw a lot of comments online about people fishing discs out of water and just struggling with the conditions overall. So I'm excited to see the pros attack it.
And it was great weather. It's usually horrible weather during Ironwood. Hey, and I want to say a very special thank you to Black Market Deli, which is a deli in the Allentown neighborhood of Pittsburgh. They're great. They have all types of great food and fun throughout the week. Definitely check them out. We have a link in the comments section below. And how about this? Hole 18, 2 birdies under the basket.
Some nice Canadian geese hanging out, doing what geese do, probably eating in the grass and pooping everywhere. That's what they do.
That is an issue there for sure. But all the OB marked out by Jay Gary. Special thanks to him. So here's our card. We have Sam Castiglione from Grand Island, New York. He's 10 under. Mike Gastin at 7 under. Andrew Martin at 11 under. And Nick Schultz at 10 under. So they're all pretty close there. I think we're going to see some fluctuation because Andrew and Nick have never played this course before. So it should be fun. So we're going to start on hole 1, which is a par 3, 324 feet. And Andrew's going to take the box.
Yeah, so you see you got a big over-the-water shot. The basket's right on the edge, so you need to carry water the whole way. And there's that tree kind of guarding the pin, so it looks like we have at least one hyzer play.
Absolutely. You just want to play it over that water and have it hyzer up around that tree. And Andy's going to be a little long there, but still a great shot.
For sure.
And special thank you to Jeff Revilla for the catch cam work. Here's a shot of Nick throwing over that huge water and parking the hole.
Yeah, much better result. You really have to maybe test the tree or really get something that's going to hyzer the whole time and bite left at the end. And it looks like he tested the tree and it paid off for him.
Sam's looks like he's taking a straighter approach and then dumping harder there at the end. Beautiful shot. Wow.
Yeah, that was really nice.
It's mostly 300 foot over the water. So that's the tough part.
Absolutely. You cannot trust a forward skip to get you where you need to go. You need to land pin high.
And Mike's going to take a little longer approach there. Good skip, good roll. He'll be just outside the circle.
Yeah, that was excellent. I'd say overall 4 really nice drives to start out.
Absolutely. These guys are really showing you that they're higher end players. Here go Andrew for his 2. Oh, just a little shy.
You maybe caught a little bit of that left to right, got the nose down on the putt. Looks like it dropped pretty readily out of his hand.
Yeah, absolutely. You do have wind coming off the pond there. Mike's going to go for his 2. Oh, just a little shy, a little low.
It's tough. Whenever you're putting through a crosswind or headwind, what he did is what I like to do anyway, is spin something straight exactly where you want the disc to go. And it's tough because you're going to put it basically on a string to the basket. And Sam gets to correct off everybody and make a nice birdie. All right.
That's right. Sam is on a mission today. He is close to the lead. Now tying. And Nick is going to be doing the same thing. Tying up with Andrew after the first hole. 3-way tie for the lead.
Very exciting. It's always nice to see a good start, see everybody get on the board, close some scores up a little bit. That's very exciting.
And hole 2 is 364 feet. This is another par 3. There's OB to the left and to the right of this one. So you want to stay in the green here. You don't want to hook up too much or stay too straight.
Yeah, for these pros, I'd say that's a very wide, fairway. You want to put something straight just like that. Carry forward. Looks like he's about pin high, would you say?
He's a little short there. I'd say that he's probably a good 45 feet from the basket there.
Okay, see, it's always further than it looks. I feel like it's harder to judge distance in an open field, for me anyway.
And Sam's going to hang out wide right around the tree, get a little bit of a skip off the grass, which I do have to say the humidity was pretty rough in the grass. They were catching discs and they weren't skipping, so it's definitely puts a damper on your game. And then Andy's going to go a little outside the circle there. And Mike's going to give this a good run, I think.
Nice hyzer flip. Still holding hyzer.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
Pretty.
That is within 5 feet of the basket there.
That was an excellent shot. I love shots where you throw it on a hyzer, a steep hyzer, but it still is stable enough to hold the hyzer the whole way, so it kind of gets this wonderful drift to it. I just love watching the disc fly like that. That was very enjoyable.
Nick should just be inside the circle here. Oh, and it dances and falls in. Wow, great birdie by Nick.
Yeah, hanging on to those last couple of chains on the left side. Very nice.
He was a lot closer than I thought originally.
So this is Andrew here.
Andrew's just a little shy. I know he's really on top of himself today, and he's really hunting those birdies. Sam should be about 25 feet here. Oh, and it just bounced off the top of the cage there, or the top of the rim.
Yeah, as we like to say around Pittsburgh, you got to get up to get down. You know, you got to put the disc high enough, otherwise the rim's going to bounce you right out.
Especially these chains, they definitely have a tendency to pop out if you don't hit them dead center.
Absolutely. I think it's a fair set of chains. They're heavy and they will catch the disc, but you got to put it there.
So hole 3 is par 3, 343 feet. A lot of people like to play a sky hyzer on this one, but there's a gap straight down the center. And Nick's going to show us the way.
Oh, dear.
Catch an early tree. Oh, and luckily he misses the OB. So he's.
So do you have to clear the path to
yes.
be in bounds?
Correct.
Okay. So you're teeing off from OB and you got to clear through this narrow gap. That's a really challenging shot, especially it looks like the wind's swirling there. A lot of factors to manage.
Absolutely. So Mike's going to give this a good run.
It's like the same disc from his last tee shot.
Yeah. Oh, and it just gets caught by the grass. You see that little bit of moisture coming off the grass as he hits into it. Actually, pretty cool story. 2 years ago at this same event, Mike hit this beautiful birdie putt on this hole. So we'll see if he can repeat here. And Sam's going to go over the top, come real nice and wide around. Oh, and he's going to have that gigantic pine tree to contend with.
Wow. I'm really impressed with that because he kind of looked like he just sort of flung himself around and put the disc in the air, but he knew where that shot was going.
Ooh, and Andy's going to have a dead straight shot. He's going to be behind the pine tree as well. He's going to have a hard time making that putt for sure. It looks like Nick is still about only about 90 feet away.
But compared to the other guys, I mean, I'd almost rather have his lie than have to try to figure out a way to get around a big tree if you're pinched in too tight.
Sam's going to lay up. Smart move. And Mike's going to see if he can repeat the same that he did 2 years ago, I should say. Get a bird.
Yeah, so that's where he looks familiar. I think I did watch the coverage from 2016.
And just not quite enough.
That's a good bid, though. I mean, uphill, narrow gap, you got to put it straight where maybe you'd like to hyzer normally. She should feel okay about that.
And Andy's going to try for it, but going to get caught by that branch, unfortunately. You know, that's the thing about those pine trees. Whenever they take up that much space, it's really, there's no getting through them.
No, you have to go around. It's just not an option.
Beautiful putt there by Nick to save his par.
Yeah, with authority. I like when people finish their putts even for par. Not tentative. You really want to put something through it, not to it. Sam does the same thing. Very nice.
And everybody else should just be dropping in for their pars. And we'll be moving on to one of the signature holes. It's hole 4, which is a par 4, 459 feet. And I'd say about 450 of those feet are over water. It's definitely one of the most interesting holes on the course.
Yeah, interesting and challenging. It's a par 4, but it's pretty much entirely water. I mean, at this point, why not make it a par 3? I mean, I know par doesn't really matter. It's just the number of strokes you take or don't take. But if you need one shot to get there, it seems to me like, you know, unless looks like there is a roundabout play if you can't carry the water the whole way. So I'll just be quiet now.
Yeah, Mike actually is going to play the safe route, go over to the other side of the pond there and play over to the trees. Now, the issue down there is that there is a very low ceiling down there, and we'll see how that affects their play here.
Sure. That makes a lot more sense. Risk reward. So you can play safe, try to get your birdie, or really kind of smash out there for the eagle. And
Sam's going to play into those trees with that hyzer.
Oh, that actually worked out pretty well. Huh.
Yeah, sometimes you can sneak through there. Other times your disc will flip up on its side and then roll into the water.
Yeah, I'd be very afraid of that. That takes a lot of courage and confidence to take that play. And
I don't think Andy's ready to give up his lead here. He's crushing it. And then, oh no, the road is considered OB there, so he's going to have to play from the drop zone.
Oh, I remember this from the World's coverage. The drop zone is almost where Mike threw his shot initially, so
yes.
Kind of puts you back for taking that risk.
And playing the road skip, it's another skip, and he is outside of the circle at that point.
Whew, that's rough. He still has some work to do, as they say.
And you can see Mike. Mike's a taller guy here. He's going to have some issues playing to this low ceiling, I feel.
For sure. And that pinched in forehand, again, at least for me, I feel like I have a tough time forgetting that the tree is there and still throwing my same shot. And then, yeah, that sometimes happens. You get the nose up because you're trying to think about bringing your arm through instead of working on your aim. That's a rough break there for Mike.
So we'll move on to Sam, and he's trying to decide if he's going to go left or right of the tree. It looks like he's decided to split the two trees there. And we'll see how he does. Straight down the center. Good skip. And he should be within putting range.
That's excellent. It's a tough approach to kind of split the gap there, but I would almost have that a tight gap where I can have your hips facing the way Mike's are now, more sideways instead of straight on. I feel like I throw a lot better forehand that way, and Sam had that, and it worked out better for him. I think that's his disc right there, about 5 feet from the basket, right?
Yes. And this is Nick's 2. Oh, and he almost had the eagle.
That would have been great for him. Put himself and create a little separation from the rest of the guys here, because Andrew, our current leader, is in some trouble. Or Nick, excuse me, is our current leader, but Andrew is.
Beautiful putt for par there by Andy. Wow.
Yeah, that's a really great save, considering he had some trouble kind of every step of the way there.
Here's Mike for par. Beautiful. Well, you know, it sometimes it just happens like that, you know. You got to deal with taking a par when you'd like to have a bird, but, you know, Mike will just move on and see what he can get a bird on next. Nice Definitely. Bird there by Nick as well as Sam. And we're moving on to hole 5, which is a par 4, 503 feet. This plays around the building, very long left around the building, and you do have a guardrail down there protecting the basket. Also, you have to deal with the OB being the field in front of us with that fence.
Yeah, again, a lot of features, but it's neat to kind of use the features of the campus in the course. I personally really like this shot. I mean, if you wanted to, you could play over the building, but around the building. Ooh, did he find the fence there?
Yeah, he came out around the fence and or over the OB and then hit a tree and fell OB. So he's going to be playing back from whenever he went OB.
That's tough.
Mike's going to play a big sky hyzer. And we'll see where he landed here in a second.
Sure. Yeah, that's one way to definitely avoid the OB. And you really don't have to worry on playing it out wide about landing on the building, as long as you keep it wide with hyzer, kind of like maybe what Andy's doing here.
Andy's going to hit that tree. I think he falls in bounds, though.
Well, that's very fortunate. And you see, yeah, Sam had to take his lie out from where he went out. But he can see the basket, so maybe he can make some work out of this. We'll have to see here.
Just need one big crush to get down there. And he's going to play the skip. Unfortunately, that grass again, just it's so moist. I'll tell you what, at this point, all of our shoes were completely soaked. So I can tell you that that's how much moisture was actually on that grass at that point of the day. And Andy's going to be dealing, I think he's going to have to deal with that guardrail that protects the basket there.
So it's another fun feature, but I like it. It forces you to kind of adjust and use all of the different tricks you have in your bag. And yeah, I've been surprised. I forgot how dewy the grass can be in the morning, and I've had a couple rounds since the late spring and early summer we've gotten here, and I've been having to remind myself to carry extra towels.
Ooh, and Mike got a great skip through the guardrail, so he doesn't even have to deal with them for his third shot.
Yeah, that was a fun little reaction. He almost got a springboard trampoline effect off the grass. That was pretty cool.
Nick, big sky hyzer, coming back, good skip, and he'll be putting.
That's awesome. Just take the guardrail, railing, and concrete out of play. You know, play that overstable putter spike hyzer. I like that approach shot. It's a great choice.
I think Sam's going to be a little long here. He's lucky that he didn't end OB there, but he's going to be a little long for his putt. And Andy has these guardrails to deal with. Give it a good run, just over top, and he'll be putting from there.
And it looks like maybe Sam got a little bounce off that path there, gave it a little extra action.
Yeah, so Sam's probably about 35 feet from the basket, maybe 40 here. And that's a good putt. Fortunately, it's for bogey, but it was a great putt. And then Mike will be putting for his birdie. Nice. Yes.
Awesome. I was just thinking after the last hole, if he wants to catch up with these guys, he needs to start making up ground now, because these Sam and Nick, especially here, Sam just took a bogey, but Nick is really charging it hard. So if these guys want to keep up, they need to get on board real fast here.
Nick is on a killer streak right now. And we're moving on to hole 6, which is a par 4, 673 feet. And this one actually does have the OB in the water there. It has OB over to the right with the ball field. And you have that nice little windmill there. And Nick's going to turn his shot over, have a beautiful drive. Man, that's right where you want to be.
That was excellent. Some really nice late turn. That shows some good knowledge of his discs in his bag, being able to trust that shot over the water, that it wouldn't burn out and just dive on him.
And Mike's going for Jeff. Oh,
pretty nice too. That's a good spot to be, as long as you don't go too long and end up by Jeff behind the fence. But it looks like he's short enough where he'll be able to have a clean approach.
Andy giving a huge crush. Look at this. Nice flex. Wow. And of course the grass catches it. But I have to say, if the grass was not as wet as it is, I'd be interested to see the kind of skips these guys get.
Yeah, the disc comes in with so much speed. It would be a lot of fun to see, but right now it's just like throwing into glue. And maybe Sam just yanked that to the right a bit.
Yeah, just a bit to the right, and he's going to come down. He's going to have to throw over the OB, which is very dangerous. But with the arm Sam has, I have no doubt he'll be able to clear that. Just needs a large hyzer shot to get over there. And, oh, he gets the hyzer. Unfortunately, looks like it's going to carry a little bit more to the left than he wanted. He probably wanted that to go a little straighter.
For sure. And that's just so hard to... if you throw as right as you need to be, you're over OB for longer. And maybe him just going out on the previous hole was in his head a bit, I wonder.
And Mike with a beautiful second shot. Wow.
And unfortunately, it looks like Nick is being punished a bit by this little tree being in his line. But I mean, he's shown so far that he has a lot of different tricks in his bag. So I'll bet he has one to make his upshot from this situation.
I think his play here is to go to the left of the tree. If he was a little bit more to the right, I think he'd go over the OB clearly. But he's going to clear that. It's going to come down and beautiful upshot. Wow.
Hey, he just played somebody's closer with Mike. He's got a couple extra feet on him.
And this is the first time Nick has played this course, he said.
I mean, for me, I've had a lot of success playing courses blind. I almost feel like when I'm playing blind, I'm not really thinking about what's happened or what should be happening. I'm just thinking about good mechanics and aim. And when I do that, I tend to play better than I do on some courses where I'm at regularly. So, hey, more power to him getting out here and giving it a go.
Absolutely. Sam with his upshot there. Andy is just outside the circle here. He's going to give this a good run. I know he wants that bird. Oh, just a little high that time.
Dang, maybe just overcorrecting just a tad. But he got some good flag action, so he won't have very far to get his par.
And Mike for his birdie. Awesome birdie by Mike. Wow.
All right, Mike. Putting two together in a row, trying to get back in the game here.
That's right. He's not far. He's catching up on Sam there and Andy. And Nick for his birdie. Gets it. It
just hangs on the right side.
Yeah. Sam for par. Gets it. Great job.
And I love the flag on the basket. That's such a classic look. Kind of harkens back to our golf roots. I like when we get those out there for a tournament. It makes it feel special.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that too. So we'll move on to hole 7, which is a par 5, 783 feet. And I guarantee you all of that's uphill.
This is another hole that I think of when I think of Slippery Rock. I think of this this crazy corner up the hill and watching the world's coverage and some of the pros having the arm and the fortitude to go over the OB. And it looks like Nick, did he find OB left there?
No, that is not OB, but that is some high grass there.
Yeah, and just ankle high or shin high, especially if it's wet, it really messes with your footing. So he's going to have a tough get running uphill to throw his next shot. And
yeah, Mike, really, the trick here in this time of the year is to get up onto the green. You really isn't really an option to do what Andy's doing right now, but he's doing it. He gets up and over onto the green, over those trees. Wow. Not many people could throw a shot like that. You do have wind coming off that hill, which probably pushes disc a little more left, but he's on the green, and that's what's important. Sam's going to throw a sidearm as well.
Yeah, staying in the fairway is absolutely paramount, especially when you're having an uphill run up. I'll be interested to see where he is in relation to the guys who went around the corner.
And Nick's going to throw halfway. Well, I'm going to say that's the third way up the hill.
Man, that's such a high hill. It's ridiculous.
It really is, because once you get to the top, there's another mound on the top, and that's where the basket is. So Sam,
right.
I was teasing Nick and Andy. I was like, it's your first time throwing here. We should get a reaction to your face whenever you come around this hill, and to come around this turn and you see the hill. It's really, you can't quite tell on video, but it's a huge, huge hill.
It's daunting, and I see these guys are kind of struggling with it. Looks like there's a little bit of a left to right wind looking at the flag up there, and these guys are kind of struggling with stability to fight the wind, but also understability to kind of aid their arm up the hill. And yeah, it looks like Nick's sorry, not Nick. It looks like Andrew's this guy Andy paid off for him, because he was much further up the hill and is now much further on his second shot. But it's hard to find the balance between understable to get the carry that you want and stability so it doesn't get burned over into the ground. And it looks like those guys are trying to find the middle between that. And
absolutely, you do Nick have OB over to the right as well. But
right, exactly.
Great upshot there by Nick. He should be at the bottom of the mound, I believe.
Oh, that's really good. He must have really put a lot of speed on that to have a hyzer not get pushed into the ground. That's excellent. Kind of like Sam's. Looks like I got pushed maybe more than he'd want it to the left there. He'll have to contend with those trees now.
And it's really tough to see with the clouds, I understand. But Andy's disc is going to end over to the left. And Mike gonna lay up towards the basket and be on the edge of that hill. And I've been on the edge of that hill during a wet season like today, and it's very slippery, so you got to watch out. And Nick gave it a run. Woo! Wow. And I
can't believe
he was 3 inches away from getting a bird.
That's amazing. I can't believe his disc rolled as much as it did with how high that grass is. That he's got to be feeling like he got robbed a little bit. And Andy here is the definition of a death putt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you definitely do not want to go over that hill. So Nick's going to take his par.
Great putt. Uphill into a headwind is one of the more tricky putts, and you just got to, again, put it on a string, throw it hard, and put it exactly where you want it.
And from hole 7 here, you can see the entire campus of Slippery Rock. Beautiful campus. A lot of it's brand new. If you went here, it's probably all new. Andy for his par. And then Sam for his star par.
And that just shows you how hard the hole is that the pros on the lead card are taking pars to get up there.
Absolutely. So hole 8's a par 3, 370 feet, a lot closer, mostly downhill. But the issue on this hole is always, always, always the wind. And these, you can see on the basket down here exactly where the wind is coming from. Nick's going to hang out a little bit right, get a good carry, good glide. It's hooking up perfectly. And he just parked this hole.
Wow. What goes up must come down, and he read the wind correctly and really got a chance to make up and get a good chance for a birdie after taking a par on the last hole. Nice shot.
I have never seen anybody land that close to this hole, I gotta say. And then Mike is gonna have a little bit more of a putt than I think he wanted. And Andy still chasing that bird.
Whew. Puts a good rip on it, but it looks like he's
good skip. But it can be deceiving. So we'll see exactly where he landed there. If he might be outside the circle. And Sam is going to try to do what Nick just did here, I think. Oh, and unfortunately, the wind and the disc just ends up turning far right. And
oh my goodness,
wow.
Is that in bounds?
That is in bounds. We checked it. It is in bounds. The road behind him is OB, but that road there is in bounds.
He's lucky it's an open shot, because otherwise that would have been gone forever for sure.
Yeah. Luckily, the grass caught it as well. But Sam's going to go ahead and go for his upshot. And, lands just past the basket, get an unfortunate skip and a little bit of roll away. So he's going to be outside the circle there for his putt.
I mean, maybe the grass is thinner here or it's started to dry out, because that's the most skip I've seen all day.
Yeah, I think the wind may have a issue with that, or may cause that up here.
Yeah, I believe it. So now he's got to try to make a miracle putt to save his par. I wonder if he'll run it or if he'll try to lay up.
Because Mike's right there and Andy's still right there as well.
Great bid. Boy.
Mike is going to go for his bird. Oh, and just a little bit too much. You can actually tell how far the wind carried that one.
Right, and those tops of those discs, because of the rim, you kind of almost have a ramp there if you don't catch any of the rim. So he's pretty far out for his comebacker.
That's not a great putter.
Yeah, he says, no problem. I got this. Slams it home.
Sam's going to take a bogey there. It's going to tie him with Mike and put him one behind Andy, who's going to take a par. And Nick is going to take another birdie.
Holy cats. That's the definition of a head knocker. What a drive.
5-stroke lead on Andy. And Nick is just running away with this. We're moving on to hole 9, which is a par 3, 297 feet. This one is a dogleg right. There's not really an OB here. It's just straight, pretty much. There's some rough on the left that can catch your disc. But these guys are going to run it all day.
Yeah, this looks like one they would probably all want to get.
And Nick's going to go a little bit long there.
Wow.
I'm surprised.
And it looked like he was only throwing a mid-range or a putter. He really juiced that.
Yeah. Mike's going to go for a sidearm.
Yeah, the sidearm driver play. Looks like it's hyzering out nicely.
And a beautiful drive there by Mike. He's in the circle.
Excellent, excellent. Nice to trust the disc to do what it does.
Andy is going to try for the same thing. Oh, he's going up a little bit higher with that. Oh, and I think the wind just caught it enough to flip it up and over the basket. He's going to have a long putt.
Yeah, I think going higher up in the air maybe got more underneath it and just pushed him way back where Nick ended up.
Now Sam is going to go for what Mike did here. Great skip. Oh, he's inside the circle.
Awesome. It's always nice to watch a couple other people throw the shot you want to throw and have a chance to correct on it.
Nick with a great upshot there. I know they're probably trying to go for it still at this point because, oh, Andy even tried to go for it there.
Yeah, he had the height. And if you're putting uphill, you almost have a little bit of a backstop with the hill coming to meet you. So why not run it? Especially Nick. He's got some strokes and it's not really a risky putt. Run it.
Yeah. Mike for bird. All
Excellent.
Right.
Getting to show off more of that putting prowess. Good work.
And Sam for his bird. Great job by Sam. Now he and Mike cutting into the lead there of Nick.
And that has to feel good for Sam. I'm sure he is not having the round he would have liked so far to have Nick jump up so high. So maybe that birdie will help him get something going here for the start of the back nine.
Mm-hmm. All right. So hole 10 is a par 3, 239 feet. And this one's dogleg right uphill. You have some trees to contend with at the tee box, but after that, it's all clear skies from there. Well, overcast skies.
Sure. Clear of trees anyway. Oh, no.
That's the one thing that can catch you on this hole are those trees right there in front. They kind of split you. There's a few gaps there, but it's just really tricky to get through. And Sam's going to catch some leaves there, but I think he's going to be up towards the basket. I think he has a putt.
Yeah, I think he's about where that longer grass is. And that looks like the gap to take, the right side gap, just from where the basket is. That's the gap I would take anyway. Maybe throw it with a little bit of Anheuser, kind of like what Andy just did there. Just didn't look like it hyzered out for him. It just kind of stayed turned over.
Yeah, he caught a branch there, and it just kept the disc flipped over.
Gotcha. I didn't catch the branch there. All right.
And Mike with a great sidearm up the hill and a good skip and roll.
Very nice. Playing with the wind in his favor, using that to his advantage. Good work.
Shout out to the box behind the guys who won Open in the women's.
Yeah, I'm bummed I didn't see her at League tonight. I wanted to give her a high five and congratulate her. That's an excellent win. I know she was struggling with some some health issues last year, couldn't play as much as she wanted to. So I was really excited to see her come out and get that W. Big shout out to Maria.
And Sam is going to run it. Wow. Sam really wanted that one. I think this gave him way more zip after he made this birdie. I think he's going for it.
And yeah, that birdie on 9, like I was saying, it's nice to see him catch a little confidence and get back on board here. He takes a stroke on the group and is climbing back.
And Andy's going to take his par. I know he was getting frustrated because he was getting par after par after par, but it's really it's something to get a par here from Golds. It really is. So on hole 11, it's a par 5, 915 feet. There's a bunch of OB along the football field to the left and the road to the right, so you really got to be careful. Sam's going to be up closer to the field. That's about where you want your first drive to be. That gives you a lot of room to work with because you got to come around the field.
Yeah, that looked like a nice, I would say fairly conservative play. Like he wasn't trying to crush it out too high. And Mike, hopefully this is going to hyzer back here. That looked like it was pretty far right.
Oh, here we go now.
Oh dear.
We have Nick going OB there.
Bummer. Yeah, all of a sudden, maybe, dropping 2 strokes to Sam, thinking, man, I got to get up here. I got to get back on board. Maybe just tried to do a little too much.
Yeah, and you do still have that wind to deal with here. I think we'll see what happened to this shot here in a moment. Mike is just going to flip over a little bit, almost hit Jeff, and stay on the field. Now Andy is going for a nice flip there. It's turning right, coming back, and he should be clear of the OB.
Wow. That's a pretty aggressive play to really cut the corner.
Absolutely. And Nick, he's coming around there, and he should be in bounds as well.
Nice. Looks like Sam, since he was a little higher on the fairway, can kind of take that corner out of play and play over it rather than having to play across it. That was a nice strategy move on his part.
Yeah, absolutely. Mike's disc is going to stay nice and straight, flip over there, and he should be in bounds and be in place for his upshot. Andy with the beautiful upshot there.
Yeah, that was excellent. Good hyzer placement.
I know Nick's trying to get there, but unfortunately, he's going to go OB.
I think in his head a little bit. I mean, that's what you start to see, trying to do too much, overthrowing, and Sam and Andy have an opportunity to capitalize here. And Sam was like, I know how to capitalize, puts it right nice and close.
And Mike's going to be up there now too. And here is Nick after his OB lie.
Checking to make sure he's in bounds. Good pro play. Awesome save.
What?
Wow.
I mean, he got a bogey out of it, but wow. That was an amazing putt.
Yeah, you can color me impressed. That was a great save.
That was Probably 60, 65, 70 feet, maybe.
Very impressive for sure.
Here's Sam for his bird. Wow.
Yeah, but impressive as that might have been, he still dropped a bunch of strokes to Sam, dropped a stroke to Mike.
Absolutely. So hole 12 is a par 4, 830 feet. And this one's really nice because it does have some OB over on the right-hand side. But if you, this is just one you can let loose on. It's mostly downhill. And it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, this is another one of the holes I think of when I think of Slippery Rock. Just big downhill bomber shot. You're looking at the basket. The grass is cut real nice. Just a fun hole.
Sam with a great drive. I think everybody's just going to let loose on this one.
Yeah,
Andy,
this should be fun.
See that disc pop up real nice. Start to turn over. And he should be in a great position there next to Jeff.
Yeah, good catch the edge of the fairway. I was wondering if that was a little too nose up, but he's in the first cut, so he should be good to go.
Yeah, you got fairway for days on the left-hand side, but on the right-hand side, got to be careful. Mike's going to play over that OB. I'm just going to come back hyzer back to the left. And tombstone! Right in the middle of the fairway.
Very nice.
Nick is going to come over to, he's going to hyzer out down there as well. Tombstone!
Back to back. All right.
Yeah. That shows you how wet the ground is.
Definitely. I mean, if it's dry in the summer, those discs don't stick like that, but that's what you get this time of year.
Oh, Mike's going to play it close to the right side. Oh, he's going to roll a little bit. He's going to have a long putt for his bird.
That's rough. Got a little anti-skip roll. That's no fun at all.
Sam's going to play far to the right as well. And there he is. He's within, I'd say he's probably edge of circle.
Hey, that's great. He's shown that he's ready to make plays now, so he's probably feeling pretty confident about that putt.
That's right. And unfortunately, Nick is going to throw a little high here and end up in the rough. That's probably another 70 feet away, maybe more from the basket.
Definitely not the putt that he wants with Sam being as close as he is.
That's right.
Huh. And Andy came up a bit short.
Andy's still searching for that bird. Oh, and it's just shy.
He was ready to run that in too. That really hurts.
He's just hoping for something other than a par at this point.
Man.
And Mike from outside the circle uphill. Oh, just a little shy.
Tailwind will do that. Just drop you when you think it looks good.
And Nick is slightly uphill from the basket, so perhaps, yes, wow. He is able to make that bird and stay on top.
And you can see with the fist pump, he is feeling it. He's like, all right, I can do this. You're not going to take any more from me right now.
That's right. I'm not giving up no ground right now. And here's Sam for his bird. Beautiful bird by Sam. Keeping it within 2 strokes. Mike taking his par in grand fashion. And then we have Andy, who's going to come in and take his. And we'll move on to hole number 13. Hole 13 is a par 4, 634 feet. This is mostly uphill. You have the dormitories on the right-hand side. You don't really have OB here. It's mostly just all uphill and open.
And that's plenty hard. We don't need to add any extra OB.
Yeah. And Sam get halfway up the hill with his.
Yeah, I mean, 300 feet up a hill with some swirling wind is nothing to sniff at. That's a great shot.
Nick's going to play the same thing. Get a good flip. Wow, that disc is carrying. And wow, he's even further up that hill.
Yeah, they should have had enough practice by now with these conditions to get a feel for what they can be throwing to achieve max distance. And that is exactly what Andy is going for here.
Wow.
Whoa.
Andy with a crushing drive. Wow. And you got to keep in mind, this is after 2 rounds at Morraine the previous day in horribly wet and rainy conditions. These guys still have this much energy left to be able to do this.
That's impressive because all of those adverse conditions just adds to the fatigue factor.
Yes.
You know, really having to plant your body harder and maybe not be as fluid as you would because you're worried about your footing. So your muscles are definitely feeling it, especially with all this up and down. And Mike makes a nice upshot there. Should be within the circle, I would think.
It can be a little deceiving. It's really up there with the rolling hills there. We're going to see how close these guys are. They look like they're right underneath it, but
they do.
It's tough to tell.
Yeah.
Andy's going to give this a run, and he's a little shorter than he thought that he was going to be. He's going to be a little long for that putt. But Mike's going to give it a go first.
That's not too bad though for Andy. I thought he'd be further away, and Mike is much further away than I thought he would be. So there you go. You were right. You were there, I guess, so you would probably know better than me.
You would think. Mike for his bird. Boom.
Oh yeah.
Great putt.
Nice to see him putting together some birdies here later in the round.
That's right. Tying it up with Andy. You know, heck, if he can't take, maybe he'll take 3rd place. Who knows? Finally, a birdie for Andy. He is excited.
Praises the heavens.
Yeah, that's
pumps
right.
his fists. All right, Andy.
And Sam for his bird. And we'll make it 4 in a row. Let's make it the perfect hole. Boom.
All right. That's
More
a nice
birds.
start frame.
Yeah.
Good job, everybody.
So hole 14 is a par 3. It's 312 feet. It plays on the edge of a slope, so it's very hard to get the disc there and land there. There is OB on the right-hand side as well on the top of that slope. And Sam's going to play that disc down. He wants to get that good skip and gets a good skip and roll towards the basket. Shout out to TD Matt Rosier, who's down there keeping Jeff company.
Wow, I could barely tell it was Matt. He's not wearing a neon-colored shirt. He's wearing one of his more muted outfits. Right. Way to blend in, Matt. Good work.
Nick was a little wider, and I think Andy is going to get a good skip roll, and he's on the slope, so he's safe there.
Sure. It'll be interesting footing for his putt, and it's interesting to see them all go forehand. I was wondering if anyone would try the backhand to try to have it float in over the OB, but I guess they just weren't feeling it with the wind.
Mike had a beautiful drive there. He's probably within 25 feet of the basket, I'd say.
Oh, wow, that's excellent. I couldn't tell, again, open shots with the depth perception, but that was a really nice forehand from Mike.
Oh, and that's a risky putt. It's definitely a risky putt to make on that slope. So if you're not going to make it, you got to lay up and play it safe here. Mike's going
Mike
to go
looks like,
for it.
yeah, he looks like he wants this birdie. He's not laying up.
Oh, and just going to have a little bit of a kick out, and that's enough to get you outside the circle. We'll see where he landed here in a moment. Sam for his 2. Oh, just a little high. You can see how that wind's kind of playing and dancing there.
Yeah, it's not coming from one direction. It's kind of swirling around.
Ooh,
And
Nick just missed his par shot.
yeah, I was just laughing because of how hard he threw that. He was just trying to cut through the wind and just didn't quite get the angle. But that's a good par save for Andy there.
Here we have Mike from, I'd say that he's just inside the circle here. Has this uphill putt to make now. Nice putt by Mike.
Great save. That's really impressive. Uphill putts like that, especially with swirling wind, some of the hardest shots we have to make in this game.
Sam will take a par, and Nick is going to take a bogey here, which puts Sam within 1 stroke of him going into hole 15, which is a par 5, 773 feet. You do have OB on the right-hand side of this hole. Both of those fields are OB on the slopes. And Andy knows that he's going to have to get this disc there.
Yeah, he's in crunch time here if he wants to stay ahead of Mike, or if he wants to really, he could, in theory, catch up with Sam, maybe.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy.
And his disc looks like it stayed straight, and yes, it's right in the field next to Jeff.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that is OB.
And he knew it, too. He took his hat off, probably expressed some disgust, and that's tough, finally getting a birdie, feeling like maybe he's putting things together, and then to go OB, that's no fun at all.
Mike is just on the yeah. That's where you would like to be, right there. It's nice and safe.
That looks like no problem at all.
And Nick will be a little bit past Mike there, just on the edge of the grass. Andy is going to give this a crush of a drive.
Wow.
And that is the gap you want to make. Wow. He knows.
That's an incredible recovery shot.
Yeah, he knows. He was so happy to get a birdie 2 holes ago. He doesn't want to lose it. So he's giving it his all.
Right, and it looks like Mike might have found a gap out of there. He looked like he was hanging too far in the rough.
Yeah, unfortunately, Mike's going to be in a little bit of a strange situation down there. We'll see how he deals with it.
Sure.
And then Nick playing his drive out far right, hooking up around the trees, and that's where you want to be.
Wow. Nice shot to play that tight side and get the angle he needs out of it. Oh, yeah, you're right. Mike has to go thumber.
And he needs to get back down there. He's just outside the circle there. He might have some trees to contend with, but that was a great effort there by Mike. Sam's going to go straight down the gap, and that's a putt.
Nice. Good work.
Andy, we give that a run. Unfortunately, going to hit a tree.
Yeah, I got the double tap there, knocked him straight to the ground.
I know he was really hoping for that par there, but it doesn't look like, unless he can make a 70, 80 footer there. And Nick's going to give that a run.
Wow.
And just a little shy. Andy, unfortunately, is going to hit a tree and kick left there. So, I mean, that's better than it could have been.
Definitely. Good kick at the end there to push him towards the basket instead of further away into the rough.
Mike giving a good run. Oh, right off the top of the basket. That was a great effort.
He just has had a few that haven't gone his way, kind of hitting the top of the basket on, I think, 3 different holes. And what might have been, but here we are.
Andy's going to take his bogey, bring him back to par for the round. Sam, this is for his bird. And tying it up with Nick.
Wow. In very dramatic fashion, we've got a tie with just 3 to play. Jeez.
Well, actually, believe it or not, this is for Nick's bird.
See, I lost count of the strokes. So he tied it up for a second.
Yes.
And now Nick holds on to his 1-stroke lead in more dramatic fashion.
So we'll go ahead and move on to hole 16, which is a par 3, 233 feet. I've seen guys throw sky hyzers here. I've seen them throw straight down the gap. I think the smartest route is to go down the gap here, and these guys see that. So they're going to go sidearm here with Sam. Get this down towards the basket. Beautiful shot. Good skip, and I think he's going to get stopped right there. He's going to be just outside the circle and have some trees to contend with for his putt. If he wants to get a stroke on Nick, he's going to give it a shot. Nick, beautiful drive. Oh, right under the basket.
Yeah, that was some great.
If Sam wants to stay in
tree
this,
love.
He's gotta make this really hard putt here.
Yeah, it's crunch time. Definitely a must make.
Mike, great. He's just and I swear he was inches from that basket.
And he knew it too. You could see him running to look. He was thinking ace run.
And Andy's gonna unfortunately catch an early tree there.
Yeah, I think forehand is definitely the play if you have it. There's a lot of trees guarding any kind of spike hyzer. You'd really have to be confident in something coming in and maybe a little bit, gutsy to try that when you have a very open forehand shot.
Andy's playing a skip. Unfortunately, he's going to get caught up in a tree. Now, Sam has a very awkward putt here. Look at him straddling out. He's got to make this if he wants to catch Nick. Just outside the circle. Wow. And Sam is showing Nick that he means business here.
Yeah, nerves of steel. I would be paying attention if I were Nick. I mean, Sam's closed this huge lead. This is, I would say, Nick's lead to lose at this point.
Oh, and Mike almost had that putt. Here we have Andy for his par.
Yeah, for Mike, I know I get really frustrated when I almost have an ace, but then I miss my putt for the birdie. It just stings.
Andy's going to hang his out a little bit wider. And now he's going to have to putt for his bogey. So that's going to give Mike an advantage here on Andy. 1-stroke advantage. And Nick is just going to drop his in for bird. Wow.
It's a great shot. It looks like an ESP zone that he's throwing there, if I'm reading the stamp correctly, and I love that disc. Great shot.
So hole 17 is a par 4 at 675 feet. This hole is very deceiving. It's very rough. You really have to play, if you're a right-hand backhand player, you have to play a big Anheuser or sidearm around the center there and hope you are able to get the there's a gap in the trees back there. So Sam's going to play the Anheuser route, I believe. Comes around, his disc starts to flex, and then it's coming back.
Oh no, don't do that. That's not good.
That is heavy brush back there. Heavy. You do not want to be back there.
Yeah, so now this is Nick's chance to do something.
And he's going to have a crusher of a drive here. He's coming around, and he's going to be back in a wooded area as well. He didn't quite make the gap for the open gap that's back there, but he's closer to it than Sam is, that's for sure.
That's right. He has the forward progress that Sam does not, which definitely gives him the advantage in this case.
And Mike trying to play that Anheuser. It's fighting out. And he's going to be in an interesting position because really, I've never seen anybody play back that way, but apparently you can. I'm interested. And Andy's going to play a sidearm, and that is in a perfect position to capitalize on the gap back there. Mike is going to play around the lodge, which is, there's a small little gap of trees back there that he can play over. And I've never seen anybody play this before, so I'm very interested to see how he plans to capitalize on that.
Yeah, I had no clue what you were talking about, and I am still mystified by this very advanced route that he seems to be taking.
Yeah, he's going to have to play over some trees. We have Sam back here you can see how deep he is in the brush there. I can't imagine having much of a gap back there.
Yeah, the Bumble has creeped up really quick here in the last couple of weeks.
But he might have just been able to give that enough to get an open shot. We'll take a look here. Andy playing the gap.
Yeah, playing the normal human route where you're supposed to go.
And Nick is actually, you're going to see in the brush there, he's throwing out. There's where his second shot is.
Not half bad.
Andy for his third shot, going to catch some branches, skip, and he'll be putting.
All right.
And then here's Mike. Mike's throwing up over there to the basket there. I didn't quite catch it there, but he's essentially parked the basket.
But you've got to be kidding me for him to make something out of that lie. I mean, I'm impressed.
And Sam, that's his third shot. So this will be Nick's third shot. And he's going to, he's going to run a little bit long. There's a hill there and take a roll. He's going to have to make a huge putt, just like Sam is here.
Yeah, definitely not the reaction that he wanted.
Wow. And Sam for par there. Saving his par. It's a really tough hole. I think we have Nick here. Oh, and Nick's going to miss his par shot, which we'll see here in a second what it does to the score. Andy, par.
Great par.
And Mike for his par.
And he took us on an interesting adventure. Thank you, Mike.
And Nick is going to take the bogey, which ties him and Sam at 17 under. Wow. Hole 18. This is so tight. Hole 18 is a par 4, 501 feet. And there's OB to deal with here as far as a pond. And one of the more picturesque holes here at Slippery Rock. I feel like I say that about every hole here. But
it's a beautiful area. You know, you're kind of up on that that plateau in like the middle west part of the state, and there's some great views to see. And
yes,
and if you didn't have enough water before, we've got a little more for you here on 18 to send you on your way.
And Sam with a beautiful upshot. That's exactly where you want to be to capitalize on a bird.
Yeah, again, the pressure is on Nick here. Sam has come from behind, and Nick is trying to hold on.
And Mike saw what Sam just did and said, I'm going to do that exact same thing. And Andy saw what they did, so he's going to go for that exact same thing. The
That's
consistency great. Here, I mean, it's ridiculous.
I'm impressed.
How many people can you say can see a shot and then replicate it exactly like that? And
I mean,
Nick's going to have...
They're good shots.
Nick's going to be in a really interesting position here. He's a little shy of where you want to land, but he's going to play this sidearm over to the island. Nick's shot coming around, and oh, wow.
Almost dunks it. What a shot.
It's so close. You do have that OB to deal with. You do have that pawn, but you still got to throw over it. Sam's going to try for his sidearm, see if he can get it there, and tie Nick. Oh, good run. That disc had legs.
Yeah, that was some good ground action. Luckily, it stayed up and didn't roll on him.
And Mike going to end this right. Great carry, and he is within 5 feet of the basket.
Perfect. Nice shot.
Andy hoping to get back a stroke here.
He's thinking,
I think he might have been ace running that. I'm pretty sure. Because that was really close.
I'm sure at this point, why not? I mean, if he's going to make up that stroke, that would have been the way to do it.
So Sam for his bird. Great bird. So if Nick is able to make this putt, he and Sam will be tied for first place in the tournament. And of course he makes it.
Oh, dang.
Wow. So we'll have Sam and Andy come over and make their final putts. This is for Andy's bird. Great finish there for Andy.
It's nice that he got to get another birdie there. And for Mike, too.
That's right. These guys were a great bunch of guys to cover. Everybody, they seemed to know each other pretty well, and they were, a lot of respect there. So we're going to go to a shootout for the final. This is between Nick Schultz and Sam Castiglione for first place of the entire tournament.
All right. We got some Disc Golf Examiner bonus golf.
Woo-hoo. That's right. It's hole 1. It's a par 3, 324 feet. We start off with this one. If they win this one, if they tie this one, they go on to hole 2, hole 3, etc., etc. So, but this is for first place.
Yeah, I would imagine there's definitely some nerves here coming back to more water, and it looks like maybe Nick popped that up a little straighter than he'd like.
I think he is just at the circle's edge right there where he landed. I think he's in a very nice position. And Sam now has a little bit of pressure to contend with here. He's going to take his disc. He's going to have a little bit of glide, kind of turn over a little bit. Oh no, he caught the tree. Oh, there's OB over there. And look at that. He is just inbounds. So he's got to make this putt. He knows he's got to make this putt the way Nick's been putting today. So Sam's got to give this a good run.
Oh, bounces, but the chains and the pole just sort of force it out to the side, like you mentioned at the beginning of the coverage. Those chains are very unforgiving if you come up short.
And Nick has got the entire weight of the tournament on his shoulder here. This is for the win.
He's battled the whole time. Can he hold Sam off the late charge and cash in? Let's see. Just a second.
Beautiful birdie putt. Wow.
And with authority again. I like that.
Such respect between these two, though. I mean, it's really nice. He won fair and square. It was great. They have a great sportsmanship among them, and even for it to come down to that one, it came down to one putt, and it honestly probably came down to about maybe 3-4 inches to the left of Sam's putt. We probably would have moved on to the next hole. Who knows what could have happened?
It was hanging there right on the edge, but I mean, if the fortune favored Nick there and he's able to hold off the late charge with authority, congratulations to him and to the rest of the guys there.
And you're looking at the beautiful trophy for the 2018 Ironwood Open champion. That's Nick Schultz. And that's going to do it for our coverage. I know it's been a little bit of a longer one there. I really appreciate you joining me for this, Vince.
Yeah, man, I'm happy to burn a little late night oil with you. If it's for disc golf and it's for bringing the people some great coverage, I'm all for it.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for our review. Thank you for joining us, Vince Mach, for today's broadcast. I want to say a special thank you to Jeff Revilla for coming out and helping me cover the 2018 Ironwood Open. And we want to thank TD Matt Rosier for for having us come out and do it as well. And all you who helped make this tournament happen, especially I heard Jake Gary was out putting up all the OB markers, and there were a lot of them. So I'm not sure if he was doing those alone or not, but if he wasn't, thank you to everybody else who helped out. But thank you to Jake Gary for setting everything up too. So that's going to do it for our broadcast here tonight. If you guys are interested, remember to like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube for all of our content. We have a bunch of disc reviews coming out as well as future tournament coverage. And it's going to be, there's going to be a lot of stuff coming out here this summer. We have some stuff building up. So, hey, and I want to say a very special thank you to Black Market Deli, which is a deli in the Allentown neighborhood of Pittsburgh. They're great. They have all types of great food and fun throughout the week. Definitely check them out. We have a link in the comments section below. And until next time, guys, keep banging those chains. Hey guys, before we get started, I want to say a very special thank you to Black Market, our broadcast sponsor today. Black Market is located in the Allentown neighborhood of Pittsburgh, just a short 10-minute drive from Schenley Park. This is a family-run deli, and it's so much more than that. They do catering, they have pastries, they have live music, board games, and other fun activities planned throughout the week. Black Market serves dinner between 3 and 8 p.m. Tuesday through Sunday, which is flavorfully cooked by the chef Dominic Betters. All that goes without saying, the one thing Black Market is known for: beef jerky. They have 14 mouth-watering flavors, and it is all made in-house by Dom and his family. Special recipes. My personal favorite is Red Tail and Buffalo Ranch. If you live in Pennsylvania, they can ship their jerky right to your doorstep. Just click on the link we have in the comments section below and order away. Once again, we want to thank Black Market for being our sponsor for today's broadcast.